Hi, this is JilliBling of JilliBling.com. Hope you are doing well today. What do you think? Is this the sweetest thing ever? This card I saw on Facebook, and there was a German greeting down here, but I didn't get the name of the person who made it, so I'd love to give someone credit for this, but I don't have their name. So if you find out or if you see it somewhere else, let me know, because I'd love to update the YouTube video and my blog giving this person credit. I love this card. I saw it probably maybe 6 months ago or last season, but it's just so simple. And I kept on wanting to make something similar to this, and my mind kept going back to this card. So here it is. Look at little Bambi. Is that just the sweetest? I think I titled it, Hello Lovely. Very, very cute. And then on the inside, once again, very simple. It's a very simple card, but there's just something about it. I think it's the look on little Bambi's face and the sequins. It's very delicate, very nice. But let's make this card today. So it is focusing on the stamp set Nature's Beauty. And for words, these words go really nice. I like the font, and I like how petite the words are. These words are nice, but to me it's just a little bit bold, but some people are really particular about saying season's greetings, and other people really like to say Merry Christmas. So I've included these two stamp sets as your word options. So for the dies, for this little wreath, which takes a little bit to make, there's two dies in the Garden Gateway die set, and we'll be using 2 of those. And then this, we need to focus on this. I just shared a video on my Facebook page of Sarah showing all the benefits to this bundle. It's an envelope bundle. What's it called? Envelope dies. But we'll do something more with this, but at this point we're just going to use 1 die so that we can have a whole bunch of little dots for berries on the wreath. You know, got to be creative, got to look at everything. Have to have small dots. We'll use the aqua painter to apply a brush of watercolor back behind here. Memento ink, because we'll be doing the coloring. And I'll do all the coloring today on Bambi. So the video might take a little bit longer, but a few people said, I don't want to go back and watch the video on coloring with the blends. How do you do it? So I'll do it kind of quick, but I'll do it here on the video. And the Pool Party ink is to do the watercolor wash. What else do we have? This one I used Red and White Baker's Twine. The card we're doing today, I think I like to use the linen thread just for something a little different. We talked about these things. Aqua painter, or aqua painter and re-inker and Pool Party. Okay, let's see. Clear the way a bit. So I ran through on the Big Shot. This is from the envelope dies. And it cuts a fancy little detail in your envelope, but I'm using it just for the dots. And I have a little tub right here, because if one person runs it through, they don't need this many berries. So they'll just go into here. If the tub is full when you use it, good for you. I could get another pass out of that. Do you do that? Do you use every little bit of paper? I don't know why I'm so frugal. I think Shelley taught me that. But we could get another pass because all we want is this part right here. And these are the dies from the Garden Gateway. 2 different sizes, and that's what's going to make Bambi's wreath. And if you're doing 2 of the Bambi card, you probably, this in both of the colors, here I'll show you. I'm done with that for now. But this is probably all that you need. The first time I was making the wreath, I was putting stuff everywhere and it looked like Bambi ran into a shrub. Don't need that. If you really counted, it's maybe 7, 8 little leaves. That's all you need. Not much. Okay, so we'll be using this. We probably should make the wreath first. This is extra. Ooh, staticky. Garbage. Garbage. Berries. Who knew? Usually we're throwing stuff like this away. Ooh, they're staticky. What's up with that? Okay. Lots of berries. Okay, and these are the colors to color Bambi. But let's start working on the wreath, just to let that dry. So you need, I'm taking that much of this one, and you really don't want the stems so much. You want more just the leaves. And you're probably thinking, well, that's not very much, but it doesn't take much. And how about a little bit more of this? Can you see what I'm working on? Yeah, you can see it. That's probably all that it would take for the wreath. It doesn't take much. Okay, maybe a little bit, I don't know. I might have to get rid of some of this stuff. And when I cut it, see how I'm trying to make most of the stem be gone? Because the stem just looks like a stick sticking out of the wreath. We don't want that. Okay, that's probably more than enough. So these little bits are going to go into this tub. We might use them. Someone else might want them. Okay, so to do the wreath, we're going to use liquid glue. And if I were to glue on the paper, I know it would stick. So I'm looking around. How about on here? Oh, I pulled out my picker-upper tool. Look at this. Let's use this end to pick up little things. Okay, so we'll use that in a minute. Let's use this one first, the granny apple, and then I alternated them for the bottom. So if that can stick there with a bit of glue, I'll hold this up here close in just a minute. And I don't know that there's any real way to make the wreath. Just leave room. So, see Bambi's little eyeball, how it's peeking out? I kind of wish this leaf was a little bit further higher up. But you just want it not to cover up his eyeballs. It looks funny like that. It's like the kid that has their bangs in their face or their pants hanging down. You want to push them out of the way, or you want to pull down or pull up those pants. Can't do that. Okay, so on here I put just a little strip of glue. It's holding those together. Let me see if I could do it while I'm holding this up. This one, how about right there? And this one, and the glue is wet, so I know that I can adjust it. Not there. Well, okay, come on, spruce one. How about this one? I'll try again. There's not much glue holding it together. I think I need more glue on there. Okay, so that's kind of the end result, what I want. And I'm just going to put some glue over. I know that the glue will dry clear. So I'm just hoping that it will all stick together. And I'll put the little berries on in a minute. But for right now, I'm just going to leave it because that's close, I think, close to what I want. And once it sets up a little bit more, I can maneuver it around a bit. Okay, so we'll leave that. And we'll use this in a minute. Let's do the watercolor wash with the aqua painter because that takes just a second to dry. Close up my glue. So, Bambi. I'm going to do the watercolor wash on the inside white and the outside paper. So, it's right on here, and it's also in here. Otherwise, if I just had these stamps, it would look really boring. Aqua painter. I put 2 drops of Pool Party in here last night. And I know if I were to go right into this, it would be much too strong. So, with my aqua painter, I'm going to give it a squeeze. See how there's a bunch of water in there? Maybe a little more water. Then I'm going to take the aqua painter, take some of the color, and make this the right tone. I'll hold it up here close in just a minute. So it's really light. Okay, so dry paper. I'm going to squeeze where this bulb part is, and I'm going to get a drip of water onto the paper. When you're doing the watercolor wash, try not to go over and over and over one area because that will make the paper kind of ball up and it doesn't look good. So you need to be a little bit quick. So what I'm going to do, give it a squeeze, swoosh the water all over, pick up some of this watery Pool Party ink, and then put it onto the paper. And then just let it sit. Okay, so squeeze, there's a drip, swoosh, pick up some ink. Ooh, I need more ink than that. Okay, if I kept going over it, it would get balled up. The paper, yes, it will curve. See how I have the strip going right here? It's getting really darker in color. I don't want that, so I'm going to kind of swoosh it on. And then just let it dry. And it's okay if it gets a little bit darker, but if it's really heavy in color, you might need to intervene. And the paper did ball up just a little bit down here, but when it dries, it's not so clear, not so obvious. So I'm not going to worry about that. My drip right here is getting a little bit big, but I'm hoping that once it dries, it will look good. And as I look over here, the paper's getting a little bit balled up. So you know what I mean. Can you see how there's, like how your sweater gets the little balls of sweater right under your arm where it hits the desk? I don't like that. It's going to end up being just fine. If it happens a little bit, that's okay. Okay, let's try again. Okay, so I'm going to try not to do it so much. Drip. That was like 3 drips. Watercolor wash. Pick up some color. And I want it to look artsy-fartsy. Maybe if I hold it flat, it won't drip so much. But I can't hold it flat for a long time. The aqua painter, once you're done, and I consider that done, just kind of get most of the ink out of it. I'm going to set this off to the side. Let them dry. we're done with this. I'll probably need to put some more ink in there. Oh, and the ink, not that it's that hard, but here's a pool party re-inker, and I'll put 1, 2, maybe 3 drops in there. And that'll be good enough for 3 or 4 cards. And I'll put the lid back on so it's good for class on Tuesday or class next week. Okay, here's Bambi. So Bambi, you could stamp it and cut it out. And I'm going to cut off these little snow mounds, these little lines right here, because I don't want those on this card. Bo is outside telling me he wants to come in, but it's so nice and sunny out there, I think he needs to stay out. I might have to remind him he needs to stay out. I hope not. Gosh, I wish I knew who originally did this card. I love this card. I think it's someone German. Okay, so I trimmed off, here I'll show you. I trimmed with my snips right between here and on either side, because the stamp, see how it has, I don't want it to glare, right here, it has those little lines for the snow. I don't want that. Okay, so let's color Bambi. These are the colors I used. You could use any colors you like. And I always start with the darkest first, but you can do whatever you like, but this works well for me. That means brush tip. This means little bullet point. The brush tip, yes, it is pointier, but some reason this tip here, the bullet point, blah, I just like it. So this is black light. If I was using black dark, that would be like using a Sharpie. And this, if you look really hard, you can see through and see a little bit of the detail. So I use black light much more often than black dark. The cap looks almost purple. Okay, little hooves are black. A little nose. And the eyeballs. So sweet. This Bambi even has eyelashes. Okay, done with that. Next is bronze. So this I'm going to put wherever there's like under the chin where there might be a shadow, just the darker spots. And if you're not sure, Stampin' Up's artists are really good about putting lots of little lines, making it look like a dark spot. That will help you decide where you need to color the darker color. And when I'm coloring, I always do 2 layers of color. So right now I'm applying the first layer. In just a minute you'll see me do the second layer. I'm thinking there's lots of shadow right here because there's lots of fur lines underneath the chest. Thinking is lots of little lines, shadows. And if you've watched my video about the coloring, don't leave the marker open, because just as if you put rubbing alcohol on your hand, it dries almost instant. These are alcohol markers and they dry really fast. So if you see somebody over there talking and they're leaving the marker open, tell them, hey, close that thing up, because it dries up. And I end up buying a whole lot of them Also, there's no need to press really hard. If you press hard, you won't let the ink flow out of the tip, and you're not doing yourself any favors. Okay, I'm doing my second layer. The first layer just colors it in. The second layer confirms that yes, you have colored this bronze. Not light bronze, not medium bronze. It's the color on the cap. It's now bronze, which is what we want. Okay, so everything on there is black, light, and bronze. Next is cinnamon dark. And I'm trying to leave the bronze as its own color. Let me do the second layer here, and then I'll hold it up and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Because I want to see that there are two different colors on here. If I took the time to color it, I want it to be seen. Okay, I'm done with the cinnamon dark. So what I'm talking about there is, let me hold it close. So you can see this is a bronze, this is cinnamon dark. This one looks a little redder, this one looks a little browner, but you can see that there's the two different colors. Next I'm going to go through with cinnamon light and fill in a little bit more. I want a white chest, so I won't fill all that in. A little bit more, and then you'll be able to see three colors. And I'm trying, when I'm coloring this, I'm trying, because I know I have one more color. I have the ivory to go. And all the places I'm leaving open, that's where the ivory is going to go. Because I could do the whole thing, but then, wait a minute. Where's my next color going? So ivory, ivory, ivory. Okay, now I'm going to go through, do the second layer of cinnamon light. Okay, and now finally, this is the ivory, and I do want some white spots on there, particularly the chest. The chin, and maybe a little bit around the eyes. I don't even know what Bambi looks like. This is all going to get filled in. Okay, now time for the second layer of color of the ivory. Okay, I'm just going to leave the chest white and the feet white. A little bit by the ears. I'll hold it up close. Okay, so now we could see the bronze, cinnamon dark, cinnamon light, ivory, and white. But when you hold it back, human eye is amazing, and it makes it all blended together. Right here I do see quite a difference between the ivory and the cinnamon light. So I'm going to go back with the lighter out of those two colors and go right over that seam a few times, and it will make it blended. Same with it right here a little bit. Okay, Bambi is done. So cute. Done with coloring. Bambi needs a wreath. Let's see how it's doing. It's still kind of wet. Wonder if I could speed it along. Oh, it's really wet. Probably shouldn't have used so much glue. I hope I could get this done. Well, I'm going to use glue to put it on. How about if I work on the inside, then come back to this? I'm procrastinating. Okay, so inside layer, top layer, base paper. This one, going down flat, could go onto the inside. The inside is flat. This one will be put on dimensionals after we attach it to the watercolor paper and wrap around the linen thread. So these pieces are over here and they're still a little bit damp. I don't want to stamp on them. If I stamp on them, I know the stamped black line art is going to spread. I don't want that. So I did a few last night. And remember how I said that it was kind of balling up? But look how clear. It cleared up quite a bit. This one is just fine, but this one, maybe I focused on it too long. So now the question is, do I want it dark at the top or at the bottom? Which one is inside and which one is outside? It's going to be dark at the top, just like that. And this one will go in here. Okay, so this, let's stamp the greeting on it. Okay, what greeting? There was another one in the mousse. Have a cozy Christmas. That one's nice. Enjoy the stillness of the season. That's perfect for little Bambi. Okay, so have a cozy Christmas. That we will do in Memento Black. I'm going to test it. Boy, not doing too good with this one. What's going on? What am I doing? There we go. Okay, now do it at the bottom. Please work. Yay. Just fine. This is the inside. Enjoy the stillness of the season. I probably should test this one too. Okay. Right in the middle. Very good. Everything stamps better on Stampin' Up! White, rather scratch paper. And on this one I did some twigs and some grass. I'll do that again. This is in the Nature's Beauty stamp set. I don't know what those things, look how delicate those are. I don't know what they are, but They're weeds. Here's a little grass. I'm just guessing, I don't know. I think we're done stamping. That isn't much stamping for one card. Okay, and the paper, because we did watercolor wash on it, the paper is a little bit warped. Therefore, you'll need to use extra adhesive on the back. So I'm going to do 2 layers around the outside edge, just to make sure it holds down. Or you know what, I might do liquid glue. So this right here, what that is when I use the aqua painter, I picked up the color and there was no watercolor wash there, so it goes on really dark. So that's a good bad thing not to do. That's a good bad example. Because this is warped, I don't know if you could tell, it's warped. I am going to try liquid glue and see if that will hold it in place. I've become a fan of liquid glue lately. But if you didn't have it, just use your adhesive and do 2 1 strip, 2 strips side by side, so there's a lot to hold it into place. Okay, and this will go inside. It's not wanting to hold down. After I let the glue start sinking into the paper and evaporating and absorbing, it will be just fine. Boy, that's really warped. I guess I could have used watercolor paper. It's considerably thicker and it's not quite as white. I think I like this. Where's that bone folder? There we go. Stick, stick, stick. Right here it's bowing. Right here. Right here. Should I just sit like this for 3 or 4 minutes? What's going on? I know there's glue under there now. I know, because there's no glue popping out. If there's glue popping out, I'd say don't do this. Stay. Okay, so that one is on. Choo, 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 choo. Okay, now this one, that's all the stamping we need. So we're going to stick this onto here. You know what, this time let's try the 2 layers of adhesive, see if that works better. And I'm getting as close to the edge as possible. Okay, 2 strips, side by side. Close to the edge. A little more. Oh, didn't get close to that edge. Okay, second layer. You know, if I used my Sticky Plus, Stampin' Up! Sticky Plus stuff, I bet you that would work. Or tear tape. Or, that worked good. Do that. Do regular adhesive, 2 layers. That worked just fine. Much easier than the liquid glue. Okay. Nothing's bowing. Okay, so linen thread. So I'm going to do 3 rounds of this, leaving enough for a bow. This is looking kind of natural. 1, 2. You could leave the wreath off and make this a manly birthday card. Okay, so I'm going to tie a knot. Right now I'm basing my knot on keeping my 2 strings equal in length, and it's very easy to adjust where the bow is after you have the bow tied. Okay, there's my bow. And it's okay. See how this one is not all that tight? That's okay. So the bow, I'll make it smaller first. I certainly don't want it over the words, so to move it, kind of bow this, scooch that around right there. And to make that one string tighter, I could move these further apart. And if that didn't work, I could come onto the back and pull them together and put some adhesive there, and that's all it would take. I don't like how these strings are going that way. Okay, there it is. Let me make sure that bow's tight enough. Don't want it coming apart. Okay. Kind of like that. It's very natural looking. So then I'll trim these. And I'm going to make it a little bit tighter. I don't want it bigger, I just want it tighter. Now it's going crooked again. It's okay if it's a little bit crooked. Well, now it's kind of perfect. Okay, so this part is done. I'm going to flip it over and put dimensionals on the back. Ooh, dimensionals have my wreath on it. I don't know my wreath is done yet. I'll just use this side. So I'm going to put 6 on here. Probably need just 4, but that's okay. I've been hanging around with the wrong people. Okay, let's see, how is... Oh, I don't know about that. Okay, do 2 layers of adhesive. Don't do liquid glue. Okay, this goes right in the middle. It's coming together. Bambi can go right here. Very sweet. Okay, Bambi goes on dimensionals. Oh, I tried stamping it in gray instead of memento, but Bambi got washed out. Oh, I threw it away. Not good. Bambi wants to be done in memento black. And it's a very delicate stamp, so it doesn't come out too bold and bloppy. Okay, maybe some mini dimensionals. I wonder if they have super minis, even smaller. This is for the feet, the legs. And I'm going to have the feet be in line with the bottom of the words. Okay, wreath, it's your time. Even if you're not dry. You can dry once you're on Bambi. Yeah, the wreath is not dry. It's covering both of Bambi's eyes. There's one eye. Okay, that's not bad. I just don't want it covering Bambi's eyes. Okay, and now little berries. So I will put on, let's see, how many did I put on this one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll aim for 6. I might need more because I have kind of a gap right here where the twigs are. I'm going to keep it out Bambi's eyes. 1, 2, 3. Up here, there's a whole bunch of glue from gluing the wreath right there. Okay, time for berries. Bambi just ran through a shrub. Or is Bambi just feeling festive? I don't know. I think I need one more right there. Otherwise it looks too much like twigs. I just put my snips into the glue. And now I can pick up the berries. Oh, that's cute. Okay, done with berries. So next is sequins. So when you go to do the sequins, when you open up the container, you might notice some sequins that are, let me hold this up. Can you tell how thick that is? That's like 5 sequins, stars, all stuck together. If ever you get a super thick sequin, take it and look what you get. See all those? It was 5. So separate them, because you don't need a super thick one, because I'll just fall off eventually. But here's another super thick one. This one, I'm guessing 3. That one's 4. And also, when you choose your sequins, if you can, do a variety of them, because if everyone picks out all the snowflakes, there won't be any left for your neighbor. And also, if you do all snowflakes, it's kind of boring on your card. It's better to have a little variety. Okay, they're staticky. They won't stop. Okay, sequins, here we go. So I think on this card I did 17. Just any odd number is good, wherever you like. And I always have to count, just so I make sure to not leave behind any glue dots without a sequin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 again. Okay, so let me get a little bit of glue on my snips. And I'll just pick up, is that another double? Yep. So those are plain white stars. There's a snowflake. I don't know if I want to use a silver. I like the iridescent ones. Here's an iridescent circle. Oop, there's 2 of them there. What else? About another snowflake. I like to put the snowflakes in where the watercolor wash is dark, because I know it's going to show up. Oh, here's an iridescent star. That's kind of cute. plain star. Iridescent star, another one. Kind of like those circles. Those stand up a little bit tall. Boy, I'm not counting. I got carried away. Oh, here's some kind of milky white ones, little circles. That looks like snow. Oh, in the basket of ribbons to choose from. Oop, that one didn't get put down. I have the this one right here, the polka dotted tulle. That would be really nice. Okay, I have 2 more to go. How about another milky one, circle? And I want another iridescent star. Okay, so now that these are all put on here, you don't know how many times I've put a card in an envelope and all the sequins are off. So whenever I put sequins on, I go back with my glue afterwards and I put a dot of glue right at the hole on the sequin, and I know it's going to sink down into the hole and it'll grab a hold of the paper. And it takes just a little bit to dry. Ooh, these circle ones, the dot of glue just sits right in there. It'll take just a little bit extra long for it to dry, but it's better than stuff falling apart. Oh, that's so sweet. I think the card is done, just like that. There it is. What do you think? Okay, I know it's simple, but there's just something magic about this card. I love it. This one, Bambi's a little bit lighter, but it doesn't matter. I hope you like it too. Give me a thumbs up if you like it. If you haven't already, hit that little subscribe button, the red button. And I hope you have a great day. Hope to see you in class. I made so many of these, it will probably be a traveling box too. So until next time, take care. Happy stamping. Bye.